Good afternoon, passengers. This is the pre-boarding announcement for Flight 372A to Kansas City.
All right, guys, when you land in Kansas City, this is where we pick you up.
Yep, this is the arrivals. You can get an Uber, you can rent a car, or we'll send in the Cybertruck to pick you up for a little concierge level service. We're all about solving problems.
That's right.
Brand new airport terminal. We're excited about it in Kansas City because there are a lot more connecting flights here, and that just gives us more flight options. So we're not doing the connections. We end up with
More direct
direct flights from Kansas City. So it's been really nice. I believe there is plans in the works for a second big terminal like this. They've got to tear down some of the old airport to do it, but they're off to a good start.
Yeah, it's a super easy airport to navigate. Nice, easy covered parking, and it's close to everything.
All right, we're headed out. It's a little bit of a foggy, misty, rainy day, but that doesn't matter. We've got places to go and counties and neighborhoods to see, and we've only got 3 hours to do it. But realistically, the 435 airport, we just want to show you guys how nice it is, and that you can really circumnavigate all of the metro area in short order and have time for lunch. So we're going to start by taking you over to Weatherby Lake, which is on that, in Platte County on that northwest corner, just south of 152 and Berry Road. And it's in the Park Hill School District. So fantastic schools. It is Park Hill School District has two high schools, the Park Hill South and then the original Park Hill High School. And Weatherby Lake goes to the original Park Hill High School, actually where Zac and I were edumacated. But Weatherby Lake is a private lake community. You there is a transfer fee to join the club. I think it's $1,500.
Yeah, 15 to 2,000
to join the Homes Association.
Welcome to the club.
They use that to repair the seawalls and do things that, a lot of the residents have paid for over the years that, as a newcomer, you get to pay your fair share. But the HOA dues really pay for a ton of amenities that are offered in Weatherby Lake. We're gonna try and see if we can get out on Sea Point. I don't know if you need a HOA card to access Sea Point. We'll show it on the map though. It sticks way out in the middle of the lake. It's got a view of the iconic castle that is on Weatherby Lake, and you can sailboat from there. It's got, I believe, a lot of community docks off of the Sea Point. You can have your own dock on Weatherby Lake if you live lakefront, but if you live second tier, you can get access to one of the community docks, and they have several of those on Sea Point.
Literally, we're going to be 10 minutes from the airport, and we're going to be to a place that's 10 minutes from downtown Kansas City and have a lake in your backyard. Weatherby Lake's also known for their lot sizes, so they have like a 10-foot setback limit on each side. So you've got at a minimum 20 feet between each house. So there's a lot of elbow room out there, a lot, bigger lots, bigger homes, and that's why it's one of the most iconic lakes here in the Northland. Another thing that is really cool about Weatherby Lake is it was kind of designed as a pilot's haven back in the day when they started building out there. So there was a lot of pilots that built their home out there.
The old TWA.
That's right. So as part of that, they kind of got a no-fly zone. They are pretty close to the airport. So you've got, traffic coming in and taking off, but they were able to designate that as a no-fly zone. So everybody flies around that. So you don't really get, even though we're close to the airport, you don't really hear that when you live at Weatherby.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. Yeah, so you have Weatherby Lake, and then you have the Weatherby Lake Highlands, or the Highlands of Weatherby Lake, and then the Masters is another subdivision just to the west. So I guess they get all the air traffic.
Yeah. You have on weird weather patterns, or if they're dodging storms, they're going to fly over. But for the most part, on the normal days, you're in good shape.
Cool. Yeah, so we're headed down I-29 right now, which is one of the main highways that goes up to Omaha and comes all the way down straight through Kansas City right to the heart of downtown. And we will be cruising south and getting off just after 152 highway is Berry Road. So one of the things that's great about Weatherby Lake is the surrounding areas. Not only is it in one of the best school districts in town, but there is a lot of shopping, and there's a whole district called Zona Rosa, and it's kind of a setup as an outdoor mall. Tons of shops there, restaurants, lots of stuff to do. So Berry Road in general is a really commercialized road with a lot of restaurants and shops, but they have the Zona Rosa shopping district. Zac actually lives in a lake community in the Northland called Lake Wacomas. And what would you say the difference is between where you live in Lake Wacomas and Weatherby Lake? Because they're both Park Hill schools, but just a little different.
Yeah, I'd just say basically size. It's a bigger lake, higher horsepower. The setback limits between the houses is bigger, so it's just got more space, more square feet, a little schwankier.
Yeah, so a little higher end.
Yeah, a little higher end, definitely. Yeah, the sky's the limit at Weatherby. I mean, they're tearing down nice houses to build really nice houses,
But it's something we're seeing, kind of a trend throughout Kansas City, and some of its most desirable areas are older areas. I think Weatherby Lake was established in 1959.
Yeah.
It was incorporated, and the lake covers approximately 836 acres. That's the community. It's actually its own city with its own police force. The lake itself is 274 acres.
Yeah, Lake Wacomas, we're at 100 acres, so.
Oh, okay, so quite a bit bigger.
Yeah.
Population is approximately 2,000 residents with 834 homes.
Yeah. Wacomas is around 425, 440, so.
Okay, so a little bigger as a city and as a lake.
Yeah. The only bad thing about Weatherby, in my opinion, is you can't have golf carts out there. Oh. Lake Wacomas, we love our golf carts.
Yeah, a little more live and let live on at Lake Wacomas.
But they make up for it with all, it's nice. That's nice. That's the only negative I have.
But in some of Kansas City's most desirable areas that are, established a little bit older, similar to Prairie Village down south, they want to be there, but they also want, more of a contemporary home to live in. And so we're seeing on Weatherby Lake, the lot is really worth around $300,000 if it's a lakefront property. You'll see an old home that is in disrepair, and people will swoop in, buy it for $500,000, knock the house down, and so essentially it's a lot cost plus whatever the demolition of the house is, and then to start from scratch and build $1 million+ home on that lot. So it's really changing the landscape of the subdivision, of the community, and so you'll see as we drive around, you'll see some new construction next to, a house built in the 70s. We also have some real estate inventory printed off. We're not going to go inside any homes today, but we are going to go by, maybe at least one in every community.
We'll throw some photos up too, so you can get an idea.
Yeah,
we don't have a lot of time today, so we got to keep moving.
Yep, we got it's a race against the clock, guys. So really that's the premise of the video, is we just want to show you how quickly you can navigate the city. So we just pulled into the entrance of Weatherby Lake now. Looking at the inventory I printed off, it looks like the homes for sale on Weatherby Lake right now are ranging from about $500,000 up to 1.6. There's 3 in here, excluding the one that's 1.6. There's 3 in here that I think are pretty representative. 775, 779, and 929. But that one that's 1.6 is just a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath. So I bet that is on the lake.
Yep.
All right, we're headed down Sea Point now. I actually married a client of ours out on this point.
That's a pretty good story too. Like, talk about solving problems. These guys couldn't get financing because they weren't married yet.
Well, these folks in particular, they were veterans. Or the man was a veteran, and they wanted to buy a house together. They needed to use both people's income, and in order to get a VA loan and add the woman, you have to be married, and they weren't. So they were in a little bit of a pickle, and they didn't want to. They had a wedding planned and engaged, and the whole family was going to come and stuff, but they needed to get married before they were actually going to get married. And so I got ordained to marry them on the courthouse steps. Yep. And we had a little ceremony, so it was fun though. They signed their marriage license, they got married, and I don't know if they ever told their family, but they did get the house.
That's all right. That's all that matters.
So
yeah, we're both ordained. I just did my first wedding last May, I think. So
yeah, it's fun. It's fun. But out here on Sea Point, let's hop out.
Let's hop out and
take a look.
Do a little. All right, guys, so here we are at Sea Point. We made it. We're at Weatherby. I think it took us 12 to 15 minutes to get here. We're standing right on the end of Sea Point. This is kind of the point that juts right out into the middle of the lake. We got the dam behind us. And this is where everybody can kind of gather. It's kind of a community area. So I'm gonna pan around just a little bit and you can see we've got like a shelter house here. It's got Animax. It's got glass garage doors on it. So obviously you can open that up in the wintertime and utilize that space. There's also community docks. There's a swim beach out here. So just like a great place for the kids to come down to hang out. They'll do like their sailing. They have a sailing team. We got here, we'll get them pan around again. We got some sailboats over here, so that's where the sailing lessons and the sailing team will take off when they're doing their stuff in the summer. So all kinds of stuff everybody knows about Sea Point. You have concerts out here, all kinds of cool stuff. Anyone want to add to that?
Yeah, this is the best view on the lake. So you can see right behind my head.
It's right behind me.
Right behind your head.
I found.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's an iconic castle out here. It was actually on the market for like 12 million bucks or something.
4 million. I went through it a few years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I never made it inside, but it's amazing. I can't imagine the maintenance on a castle.
Yeah.
But Weatherby Lake has one. And then right across the lake over here, we can turn around. You can kind of see.
Distraction over my shoulder.
Yeah, that's an example of someone who's torn down a house and is building, a couple $1 million brand new house on a lot that they probably paid $500,000 for. So,
minimum.
Yeah, these lakefront lots are a premium, and you can just see the houses get nicer and nicer over the years. Weatherby Lake, one of the best lake communities in Kansas City.
Yeah, and this lake, if you are into sailing, it's a big sailing lake too. It goes north to south, so in the summertime, we have a pretty good south wind that comes up, so it's really good for sailing because you get a nice breeze, nice consistent going right down the main channel. So
yeah, and good for fishing. I've got some buddies that live out here, and they have fishing tournaments, and they pull out some big largemouth bass out of this lake.
Super active community, so if you live here, you'll quickly know all the people if you want to, because they're all out. You tie up to boats, you're hanging out, you're going to deck crawls and parties, and it's a good time.
Yeah, 4th of July is crazy out here, as is Lake Wacomas, but they have their own fireworks show and all kinds of crazy stuff going on 4th of July.
Yep. All right, Max, so I think we did touch on Weatherby pretty good. Schools, where it's at, the lake life.
Let's pop by one house.
Okay.
To show the outside of that. We can't really get in today, but one house, and then we'll cruise to our next county.
All right, let's do it. All right, here is a house that is on the market right now. This house is listed at 1.6. We are on Potomac. I can see Sea Point just across, just behind us. We're actually on the opposite side of the lake from where we were just standing. That new construction spot we talked about is just a couple doors down. But anyway, we've got almost 5,000 square feet. We've got a 3-bedroom, 3-bath with 6-car garage. And something that's kind of unique that this particular property has is a flat lot. A lot of times when you're first here on a lake, you're gonna have a really steep lot going down to the water's edge. This one's pretty flat, so that's something that a lot of people, to have this flat driveway on first here, is something that a lot of people lay out for. So anyway, this is just an example of a great property. On lake properties, it's all about location, location, location. That drives a lot of that price. And this one is sitting in a sweet spot. So here we are, Weatherby Lake. All right, guys, let's head to the next spot.
All right, we're headed down 435, leaving Platte County, just ready to cross over Parkville here at 45 Highway and headed to Kansas.
Yeah, that's right. So 152 to 435. We're gonna be hitting 435 quite a bit in this video. That's that highway that loops around the whole city to kind of circumvent the city traffic, and it's ideal for this trip today.
Yeah, we're gonna be able to hit all 5 counties in a short amount of time, less than 3 hours. So it's great, really. As we leave Weatherby Lake and Platte County, we're really only about 20 minutes from where we're going in Wyandotte County, which is where we're headed. And we're headed there because Piper District is a fantastic school district, and that whole Piper area is one of really the best neighborhood in Wyandotte County.
Yeah, what I really like about that whole area, like they went out like years ago and there was a lot of open land and they developed like the Legend shopping area. So you've got, there's the big outlet mall, there's all kinds of restaurants. It's super outdoorsy and walkable, but then that's where they put like the racetracks. So you can get your NASCAR. All the races happen out there. It's pretty cool. And then the Sporting KC, our soccer team, is out there.
Yeah, the men's soccer team. relocating.
Yep. And we've got a casino out there. So there's just all kinds of action that keeps building around that hub. And everything's nice and new, in the last 10 years. And they've even thought about putting one of the sports stadiums out there, right?
Yeah, they're trying to lure the Chiefs over to Kansas. And if they do, I think that's where they would probably put them. They did a neighborhood improvement district, kind of a special tax to develop this whole area, because 435, back when they built it, it actually caught a lot of criticism because 435 on the west side of town went out into no man's land. And everybody was like, what in the hell are you doing? Building a, major highway out in the middle of nowhere? Well, there was a vision there, and it was to develop this west end of Kansas City, and they really did come in with this NID tax, and so you will have a little bit higher taxes in the Piper schools to pay for that, but it's...
Welcome to Kansas.
Oh, we're here.
It's like that. There's not you don't have to go through a gate or anything.
Yeah, we just crossed over the river.
Yeah.
And here we are. We are in Kansas, Toto.
Yep, looking at bean fields and cut cornfields.
Yeah, still a little, plenty of room to develop and grow out here. But this Legends area, they've got Nebraska Furniture Mart, which is a mega furniture store. I think it's a Warren Buffett owned, subsidiary, and Bass Pro Shops out here. Great Wolf Lodge. It's huge. Tons of restaurants, the Legends Outlet Mall, just a huge area, and then a lot of really nice subdivisions that have popped up around that commercial district. So you've got Piper Landing, which is where we're going to be going today, which we feel like is representative of the Piper area. There are dozens of subdivisions in that area, but Piper Landing is a place where there's new construction offered in the low 500s. So we're going to pop over there and show you Piper Landing. But what's really nice about Piper School District is you have subdivisions with new construction, and then on the outskirts there's Dubsdrift, which is a golf course community that's really nice golf course there, and a lot of acreage properties are there also. So some lake subdivisions. It's a really great area, and we're gonna pop over there and show you what it's all about.
Yep, popping away.
Poppin'. Piper School District, really highly rated. In fact, it's number 13 out of 279 school districts in Kansas. Its rating. So what's that put it in the top 5?
Top 5%. Yeah, can't go wrong there.
Yeah. So, you've got in Kansas City, you've got the Blue Valley School District, Liberty Schools, a Park Hill School District. They kind of get the most accolades, but truth be told, Piper School District is right up there with them. The Olathe School District's fantastic. Lee Summit schools are really good. So once you get outside of the city center, all of the suburb school districts are phenomenal. So when you're trying to choose an area, just know that you don't really have to zero in on Blue Valley and be in Johnson County to get the best schools. Surrounding the entire metro area are phenomenal school districts. You won't be disappointed with any of them.
And I will say that living over here in Wyandotte, living on the west side, close to 435, this highway is not near as busy as most of the traffic on the east side of town. So if you're traveling downtown into the city for work, or you're traveling to the airport a lot, it's really easy to get around on. There's like nobody out here.
Yeah, that's a great point. A lot of my friends live in Parkville, and they will, if they work downtown, you can take 435 on the west side rather than going through this, through all the action, 635 and I-29 and everything. You can head down here and then hop on I-70 and shoot right into the center of downtown. Or if you're headed to Overland Park, 435 will take you there. And there isn't not a lot of traffic. You can get up to 80, 85.
Yeah, and the road, probably because of that, the roads are in pretty good condition all year round. So you don't have like 635s full of potholes this time of year. Yeah, that's part of living in the Midwest. We get our potholes, but yeah, it stays pretty smooth and flat and flying and get around quick.
Yeah, we cruised out here faster than Google thought we would.
Yeah, and 16 minutes.
Yeah. And another thing that's noteworthy is, if you hear Wyandotte County, Kansas City, Kansas is in Wyandotte County, and it's up there with, one of the least desirable areas in Kansas City, but that's as you go east towards the city center. But once you get out, once you take Parallel Parkway or, take it west out towards the Legends area, it just gets nicer and nicer. It's kind of a gradient of, it gets nicer as you get out here. Once you cross the 435 highway, everything west of 435 is the Piper School District area that we're bringing to you today.
That's what that nice to be out of that 0 degree shit for a little bit, huh?
I know.
This doesn't even feel like I'm not wearing jackets, just like whatever. It's always funny when winter first comes, you're always bundled up when it's 40 or then halfway through winter, you're like, dude, 35 is nice.
It is. Yeah, I think it's supposed to get up to like 50 or 60 this weekend.
Yeah, melt all this snow.
All right, here we are in Piper Landing. I'm standing in front of a new construction home called The Chieftain, built by Hannah Barker Homes. And it is a reverse story and a half, meaning all of the actions on the main level, the secondary bedrooms are down with a finished walkout basement. And this house is being built. Obviously, there's no driveway here. So sometimes on a new construction home, you're able to slide right in there. They're building it for speculation. But if you catch them early enough, a lot of times you can make the selections as far as the colors and the granite and all the important stuff that is fun to pick out when you're building a new home. So this one here is slated to be done just in about 60 days. So they're putting the finishing touches on it. But wanted to bring you here because Piper Landing is a great subdivision in the Piper School District. Piper is one of the best neighborhoods in Wyandotte County. So we brought you right out here to show you what 525 gets you, what kind of bang for your buck you get in Piper Landing. We're gonna drive you through the neighborhood, show you some of the existing homes, and so you can get a little feel for what it would feel like to live here. And then we're gonna take you through the Legends area and show you that district there because that's why everybody wants to live here. All the action in the Legends. Let's go. Driving around the Hollywood Casino and the Kansas Speedway, and it's pretty cloudy, so I don't know if we're going to get the best view of the racetrack, but I do want to mention that one thing that's awesome about the Speedway is you can actually drive a NASCAR car. You can sign up, and we did this for my dad and my father-in-law actually, signed them up to get to roll around the track in one of those, and they have other supercars, Lamborghinis and that kind of stuff that you can drive around the track. So not just for going and watching other people drive in circles, you too can drive in circles at fast paces around the Kansas Speedway. So next stop, Zach, we're gonna head out to Johnson County. Let's go. We're gonna head out there and we're gonna go to, there's so many amazing subdivisions and neighborhoods in Johnson County, but the one that we've chose to highlight as our best in Johnson County right now is Terry Brook Farm. We're gonna cruise out there and show you a fantastic subdivision. They've got some new construction in there, but it's an established subdivision, a larger subdivision, and can't wait to you. So we probably got a 15-20 minute drive down 435. Okay, we're headed from Wyandotte County and we are in Johnson County now. We cruised down 435, we went south. And then once you go as far south as you can on 435, there is a 69 highway that will take us a little further south to the Johnson County subdivision that we have voted.
Yeah.
2 votes.
2 votes.
I've got 50%, he's got the other 50. And
it was, unanimous, man.
But we decided that Terry Brook Farms is the best subdivision right now in Johnson County.
Yeah. There's a lot of good ones, but yeah, this one has a lot to offer. Full of newness. There's several different sections. It's kind of like the planned community development we talk about, where you got lots of options. You got the maintenance kind of turnkey. You just lock the door and walk away, go to the beach. Maintenance free section, and then just sky's the limit from there.
Yeah, definitely. It's got 4 different subdivisions, not subdivisions, but phases. There's 4 different phases to Terry Brook Farms. So you've got kind of your maintenance provided section, and then you got your really high end section. So they've got it planned out really nicely. And then I think one of the best things about it is all of the surrounding area, all of the things to do. So it's chock full of right in the heart of everything. It's in the Blue Hawk shopping district. You've got the Prairie Fire area, which we've highlighted on our video about Johnson County, or was it about Overland Park?
I think it was Overland Park, but yeah, we've touched on it in lots of videos.
Yeah, Prairie Fire area is amazing. But the Heritage Park golf course is, we've also touched on Heritage Park. My kids play football there occasionally, and they're in a league where they play football down there. So Heritage Park is huge, and there's football fields and lakes and a golf course. So it's just right in a great area in Overland Park, South Overland Park of Johnson County. Beautiful subdivision. It is developed by, in conjunction, Don Julian in conjunction with Rod Rock Homes, which is some of the most reputable developers and builders in the Kansas City area. So a first class area and tough to beat.
Yeah.
Speaking of tough to beat, the amenities at Terry Brook Farms are first class as well. You have a swimming pool that has all types of water features. The clubhouse is just beautiful, has outdoor covered seating area. They have their own fitness center, which is rare for a homes association to have a fitness center. Most people are going somewhere else to the gym or have their in-home gym. Sports court, children's play set, just tons of amenities at Terry Brook Farms. So we mentioned those different phases about Terry Brook Farms, and you've got the manor, which is the maintenance provided area. And then you have the enclave and estates, which is kind of the majority of the homes in there. And then you have Stone Creek, which is your upper bracket, your $1 million to $2 million price range. One of the phases is completely sold out and developed. In fact, now is a great time if you want to be in the best neighborhood in Johnson County, Terry Brook Farms. It's going to be completely developed over the course of the next year. So by the end of 2025, it'll probably be too late to do new construction. You're probably going to need to wait for a resale home. So now's a good time to get in there.
Yeah.
So I got on the MLS and I pulled up all of the homes for sale currently. You've got about a dozen homes for sale in Terry Brook Farms. The least expensive is $672,000, and the most expensive is $1.995 million. And that's the one we're going to go to. We're going to stand out in front, show you what you get for $1.995. But don't be worried if your price range is a little lower than that. If you don't want to be the most expensive in the home in the neighborhood, you can get in there in the $600,000 to $800,000 range as well. All right, so where are we? 167th and 69 Highway, roughly, just south 435, kind of on the southern end of Overland Park, and rolling up here to the entrance of the subdivision here pretty quick.
Yeah, and most of the new stuff in Overland Park is going to be on the south side. Overland Park has grown from the north, which is closest to the city, south away from the city. So this is kind of the side where all the action's happening right now. Overland Park is also the biggest suburb of Kansas City, over 200,000 residents here.
Yeah, the biggest and the most populous. It's a huge area.
We are 7 bedrooms, 8 bathrooms, 4 garages. We've got a pond across the street. This house is incredible. It's got a nice curved staircase right when you go in the front door, a nice big open living room, a huge kitchen with all this countertop and bar space. I mean, would you just look at this drop zone? It looks like the Chiefs locker room. I mean, this house has space for all your kids. You could even probably adopt a couple more when you move into this. But anyway, this is kind of what you can get right now. This is coming in at 7,600 square feet. So this is one of those wow houses right here in Terry Brook Farms.
On the road again.
Here we are.
We're headed from Johnson County and we are going over to Jackson. We're hopping over the Missouri-Kansas state line again and using good old 435 to get there.
Yep, that's right.
We are going to what we have determined to be the #1 neighborhood in Jackson County, and it is in Lee Summit. And Lee Summit is known as Land of the Lakes, right?
And the lakes. Yeah, we're having a bunch of lakes on this tour this week.
Yeah, I mean, what better thing to anchor a neighborhood or a subdivision than a lake or a golf course? In fact, back in 2009, when the market, dropped during the Great Recession and hurt everybody's property values, we saw that lakes and golf course communities dipped the least. They held their value the best. So, if that's something that's important to you, that's another reason to consider a lake or golf course community. But we are headed out to Lakewood. Lakewood is one of the best communities. I mean, we just came from Weatherby Lake, which was a 274 acre lake. This one is, how many acres do we have on that?
Like 330 acres?
Yeah,
It's a bit bigger.
365. You've got 1 acre for every day of the year.
Down in Lakewood.
Yeah, 365. So it is huge. In fact, it has 2 beautiful lakes.
What's really nice about them is you can have bigger boats, bigger horsepower, but they've got kind of the marinas. So like Weatherby, it's nice to have a dock in your backyard, but it does kind of clutter up the lake. So this is more, has that community marina. I personally think that's kind of cool because when you go down there to the marina to get on your boat or whatever, you're going to run into 27 of your neighbors and all of a sudden it's a party. So
yeah, you bump into people and it is really an amazing community. I mean, they've got, a swim club, fishing club. There are
sailing, paddling.
Yeah, sailing club. So it is a great community and great school district too. We've mentioned the schools in every one of these communities, and Lakewood's no different. The Lee Summit School District is really top notch and you can't go wrong there. So, great place to raise a family.
Yeah, and I think like Weatherby had, well, we talked about Lake McComas having 400. Weatherby had like almost 800 or 900. And Lakewood has like 2,400, and there's still lots. They're still building out there today. So
yeah, 2,400 homes.
Lots of options.
It is a huge community with tons of amenities. I mean, you've got 2 swimming pools. In fact, their main pool has a gigantic water slide that looks like it. You'd only see at a water park. Playgrounds for the kids. Tons of common areas with picnic shelters. So it's just a fantastic place. Tennis courts.
Yeah, I think there's some sand volleyball out there too.
Yeah, there's a beach, sand volleyball. The clubhouse is huge.
And you've got golf nearby. And if I'm thinking right, I think there is some condo kind of townhouse style stuff kind of on one side of it. So it's one of those places too where you can, if you're kind of aging out of your house, kids are gone, you just want to downsize. One of those places you can kind of head to Florida in the wintertime. They've got a great spot for that too.
Yeah, Lakewood Oaks is the golf course and private golf club.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, just one of those. I mean, you've got everything literally right there. Lake life, golf life. There used to be a restaurant up there. There was one down on the water. I think it closed down in 2008, but I think they've got one within golf cart distance you can get to also. So just, it's cool.
Yeah, it is super cool and great location too. I mean, you just cruise up 470, I believe it is. We'll run into I-70 and you're really only like, from the sports stadiums for the Chiefs and Royals Stadium, you're really close, probably a 10, 15 minute drive there. And then probably 20 minutes to downtown Kansas City. Say the only downside is, your proximity to the airport's a little bit of a jaunt.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll shut down the video right now and we'll start it back up when we get to Lakewood. So, Lakewood, here we go. This one is 5,100 square feet. So $699 in Lakewood, 5,400 square feet, beautiful home. It is a beauty on the inside, has a huge spacious kitchen. And one of the things I noticed is the garage ceiling height is, you can see it is huge. So what I envision is a nice golf simulator in the garage for all of you guys who like to golf. And speaking of golf, right across the street, we are second tier from the golf course. So the houses across the street back to golf. So here in Lakewood, you can either back to a golf course, or if you're lucky, you can get a spot that backs to the lake. And there are a lot of houses in here though. I think we've got like 12 on our list. And this one is the most expensive, currently on the market at $699, starting at $369. I think if you're backing on the water, you can definitely get over $699, but they must not have any on the market right now. But Lakewood, we're gonna drive around the neighborhood, and then we've gotta hightail it because the clock is ticking. We gotta get up to Clay County and wrap up the video. All right, we're leaving Lakewood, leaving Jackson County, and guess what? We're getting back on 435 North. We're gonna head up. We're gonna pass the I-70. We're gonna pass the stadiums. We're gonna pass Worlds of Fun, Oceans of Fun. We're gonna go to the Northland, to Clay County, and what we've deemed as the #1 best neighborhood in Clay County,
Staley Farms.
Staley Farms.
It's a golf course community.
Yeah, lots of farms in these subdivision names.
Yeah, wonder what it all used to be.
Yeah, used to all be cattle and grain and corn and beans, and now it's big, beautiful homes, excellent subdivisions. And in fact, I actually golfed. We were in the middle of winter, and I golfed Staley Farms yesterday, not in real life, but on the golf simulator. So yeah, if you do the golf simulators every once in a while, a lot of them will have the Staley Farms golf course right on the simulator. So if you want to give it a test drive before you move here, you can. It's known for, when we were golfing it yesterday, it has a ton of par fives, long ones. There was one that was 600 yards long. And for me, that takes about 7 shots. So I'm a double bogey kind of golfer. But it's known for all of its greens are on tilt. So there's not a flat, easy putt to be had out there. A really difficult course, kind of like more of a links style setup where it doesn't have wide open fairways and that sort of thing. There's a lot of, when you're slicing and yanking them like I do, you can end up in out of bounds or in the rough quite a bit. So you're going to lose a lot of balls out there, but beautiful course, really well maintained, and they have a fantastic clubhouse, a great pool. So Staley Farms is,
I guess indoor basketball court, indoor gym. They've got all kinds of good stuff going for it. Really great location too. And then the high school, they've got a high school that has a great sports team, and it's located just on the north side.
Yeah, it's part of the North Kansas City School District, which doesn't get a ton of accolades as far as, everybody's talking about Blue Valley and Park Hill and Liberty. But the North Kansas City School District is good too. And it's at the very north end of the North Kansas City School District. It's the most recent high school built, and it's like a college campus. It's Staley High School. People will specifically look for Staley High School. They don't want the Oak Park and the Winnetonka or the Northtown high schools in North Kansas City High School. A lot of people are specifically after that Staley School District. And it's just right on the north end of Staley Farms. Part of that Staley community too is you have Staley Farms, and then you also have Staley Hills just on the north side. Staley Farms has a row of really high-end townhouses on the north end of the subdivision too. So, Staley Farms is its pinnacle. It's the higher end homes right on Golf. Staley Hills is a really beautiful subdivision, a little more of your median price range. And then you also have Staley Meadows across Maple Woods Parkway. That's probably more median, the Staley Meadows. Staley Hills is a little on the higher end, but really a great area, that kind of like Piper, the whole Piper School District area. Staley is very similar to that. Everybody wants to be in Staley High School.
Yeah, and there's, like you mentioned, there's a lot of neighborhoods around that, but even inside of Staley Farms, you've got like the Enclave. The other one's not coming to me, but there's a couple different little zones and phases that kind of come in at different price points. I know one's like 4-sided stucco, one's just stucco on the front, so different grades and phases. So there's lots of options at Staley Farms, from not necessarily entry level, but kind of average price points all the way up to sky's the limit, new construction.
Right. Yeah, you're right. The new construction in there they're building is phenomenal. A lot of it is on a little phase on 102nd Street. I'm looking at the active homes for sale here at the list I have. We've got about 10, and they range from $650 up to $1.75 million. So yeah, you can get in the subdivision in a reasonable price range in the 600s. I'm probably not going to be a golf course lot. You're going to be across the street, but great community and really fantastic subdivision.
And I know Don Julian's in there. He's one of the builders. He was in the last subdivision or 2 subdivisions ago we were at, but they've got a lot of great builders in there, some quality construction.
We think it really is the best subdivision in Clay County. You do have a lot of great subdivisions. I live in Clay County in Copperleaf in the Liberty area, but I don't think anything stands out more than Staley Farms does. Around that area, you're really close to the airport, probably about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Down 152 to the airport. You're also centrally located in the Northland. So, if you want to cruise over to Zona Rosa near Weatherby Lake and Platte County, you can be there quick. Or if you want to head to Liberty for some of the shopping or restaurants they have there, kind of right between the two.
Yeah, that's what's pretty nice about it is you've got options. And then Costco's just on the south side of 152, just right there. So you've got access to all these 2 different little city centers that you can go to. And then Hodge Park is just a stone's throw away also. It's one of the biggest parks in the Northland.
Yeah.
Not that you need more golf, but there's a public golf course there too that's really affordable if you need to change up the scene a little bit. But just the park itself with football fields, baseball fields, mountain bike trails, there's just a lot to do outdoors up there.
Plus, you have the Corps of Engineers Lake, Smithville Lake, is just north of Staley Farm. So you could have your boat, maybe you have a boat, you've got it in a slip at Smithville Lake. You could cruise up 10 minutes, be parked and firing up your boat and out on Smithville Lake from Staley Farm. So really great, centrally located in the Northland. We're both Northlanders, so we love it up there. But we work the entire metro and we go to all 5 counties, even more than the 5 that are in the metro. But it's our stomping grounds, so we know it like the back of our hand. We just made it, just in the nick of time. 3 hours, 5 houses, 5 counties, 5 of the best neighborhoods in each of those counties. And here we are in Staley Farms. We're sitting in front of a 7,000 square foot story and a half, and it has a finished walkout basement. It backs to the golf course. And 7,000 square feet, they are asking $925,000 for this property. And the reason we chose this property to bring you to is because it illustrates a really great point that in this subdivision, they're building new construction up to about $2 million. Most of them are coming in at 1.5, but that price is out at $275 a square foot. Really $260 on the low end, which is twice as expensive price per square foot is this one, coming in at $130 a square foot. So we wanted to bring you out here and let you know that there are options in the Staley Farms. A magnificent subdivision like this, a great spot. You can get in for $130 a foot, $275 a foot. It really just depends on what your priorities are, and that's where we come in. You reach out to us anytime, and we will help analyze your priorities and find a fit that works best for you. All right, guys, we're back here at Staley Farms. We're wrapping up the video. We're at this beautiful clubhouse out on the golf course, and we started at the airport. We went to Platte County, Wyandotte County, Johnson County, Jackson County, wrapping up in Clay County, all of the best neighborhoods in each of them, and it was fun.
Yeah, it was a good time. It was a great time. We did it in 3 hours.
Yeah.
We had to skip lunch because we ran into, there's a big wreck on the highway, so we wasted about 30 minutes, so we just had to keep rolling. But
had a protein bar.
Had a protein bar, burned a quarter tank of gas, did it in 3 hours, which I was actually surprised. Max was betting we could do it. I didn't think we could, but we hit all the great spots on that 435 loop, so it can be done. It's a business day, and we did it right in the middle of it all, so it was pretty amazing. So hey guys, we really appreciate you guys watching this. I hope you got some, learned a little something. Just remember, we make these videos so that when you get to Kansas City, you can save a lot of time trying to hone in on your area, learn a little bit about the city. So that's what we're here for. So please remember to like, subscribe so you don't miss the next one. And we will see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.
We'll see you then.
Bye.